What's going on, good people? How's everybody doing on this Friday? Or like we like to say it, Friday. What is Evan doing? Evan's sleep right now. That's what Evan is doing. Lord, some of Evan friends then got on my live on Instagram. Well, you can stay in here. Get your mama, daddy. Tell them to join too. Hope everybody's doing well. IG is still joining us. So while they are loading there, let's get over here to Facebook and to YouTube. Larissa says, y'all just might as well chill because you ain't going to take me out. Larissa Sanders, number one in today. LaQuana Blackwell, what up, Quan? What up, Nisi? Number two in today, DeAndre Richardson. Thank you so much, sir, for your seed and your hospitality. Thank you so much yesterday. Blessings on you, man. I'm thankful that the Richardsons are on this ride with me. It's an amazing thing. Whitney Bates, God bless you this morning. Number 4 in today, and number 5 in today is Miss Elena Kelly. Give our top 5 some love. Valerie Benjamin, honorable mention this day today. Number 6 in today. Janet Sanders, good morning to you. Barbara Williams Gray, good morning. Lady Ernestine Long, good morning. Kimberly Fuller, what up, sis? Shamika Peoples, good morning to you. I'm gonna start calling you the cake lady. Your cakes are phenomenal. If you ain't got no sweets from Miss Shamika Peoples, you missing out. LaShonda Johnson, that cake got gone so fast. It was good timing. You brought that cake over here to the church yesterday, and we had cast rehearsal for our production plug. If you guys looking for something to do Easter weekend, Resurrection weekend, Reach Church is doing an amazing. These people, we've worked so hard. I can say we. I got a role in the play this year. Y'all gonna come see me act. We're doing our Easter production tonight and tomorrow. Tonight at 7 p.m. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. As we're kicking off this Easter, this Resurrection weekend. And of course, if you ain't got nowhere to worship with us, you gotta get here on Easter Sunday, 8:30 or 11. Especially if you've been a momenter and you don't have a church home, and this has been kind of your platform of connecting with God in some way and getting yourself kind of refocused and relaunched. This would be a great time to show me your face. Let me put a name with a face. Pull up on me Easter Sunday. If you got a church home, get to church. Get to church. Let's go. Desiree Smith, good morning to you. Teresa McCoy, good morning. Deb Holmes, good morning. Michael Harding Jr., good morning, sir. Gwen Parsons, good morning. Renee Steele, good morning. Reagan Dennis, good morning. Good morning, Shinwei, good morning. LaShonda, I see the tags. Thank y'all. I see y'all tagging. Lataja Long, good morning. Good morning, Gwen. Thank you for the tags. Lisa Taylor Corporation, good morning. Toya Wilson, good morning. Lena Cofield, good morning. Rufus Hobson III, good morning. Coach Carl James, good morning to you, bro. So let's get it. IG, y'all in here with me? Dez, I see you. Dez right over here. Miss Weeks, good morning to you. I went back and watched the replay from the beginning of the week. The setup for this series was great. Thank you so much, Dez. Michelle Harrison, good morning. You join us in the building on Sunday, 11. You better. You can watch it online. You can. Facebook, IG, YouTube, Reach. Des, better give me them commercials. Give me them commercials. Let's get it. All right. This is Friday edition. You know how we do it. So let's get into this thing, man. Share it if you haven't already. Tag somebody if you haven't already. I know kids are out on Easter break. Some of y'all, some folk maybe slept in with them. They had to get up and get them ready. I had to be at school today, teach today. Yeah, all of that. But we're going to get into it. We're getting into it. It's just Z. Good morning. So today, of course, we've been talking about overcoming almost. And this is day 5. Almost means what? Not quite. Very nearly. Nearly or just about means close to or bordering on. Almost means good, but not good enough, or maybe some other time. Almost. The essence of this word almost, which we've been using as a topic of discussion and not just a complimentary word and a phrase. It is the tendency to leave things undone or experiencing things undone. Or it is the tendency to experience things that never pan out to be what they should have been or what you expected them to be. Keith Boss, good morning to you, my friend. We dealing with those things that never panned out, those things that we never finished, things that's left undone, or we experiencing things undone. Around us and pertaining to us. It's just a close but not complete realization or fulfillment of an idea or event. It means to be close but not complete. And we've been discussing and unpacking the psychology of leaving things undone. This week has been about the psychology of it. I want you to understand, like I said, on purpose, Des talked about my setup. I'm very intentional and very strategic in how I add layers on top of the other. I try to be. I pray about that stuff, that I don't just information dump on you, but I give you things in a way that we can build on. I try to lay foundation that I can put a brick and then another brick. And by the time we finish, we've built the house as it relates to the topic of discussion for this month or a month. And so as I was in prayer and really meditating on it, before I could get into depth and start to spread about different ways that almost has hurt us, left us, until I can get into the results of it, I got to get into the psychology of it. I got to get you to understand why you respond or act the way we do. Why we respond and act the way we do. Why is things more natural than we think they should be? Why is it so hard for us to shift and change some things that we know we have to shift and change? And once we get the psychology behind it, I think we have information and opportunities to shift, because we can pinpoint the problem and troubleshoot it easier. We'll know what to pray against. We'll know the signs when we see it. We will understand what one thing will lead into. And I think we'll be better equipped to fight instead of just getting upset and saying, what's wrong with me? I mean, have you ever done that? What is wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Why is this so hard? Why can't I figure this out? Why is it so hard for me to start? Why do I keep talking about it and never do, And that kind of talk can be detrimental within itself if you don't know the dichotomy of a thing, the makeup of a thing, the anatomy of a thing, right? The philosophy of the thing, the psychology of a thing. And so that's what we've been talking about. We have been discussing and unpacking the psychology of leaving things undone. Why do we do it? What's the makeup of it? What is a name to it? We've been giving name to habits. We've been naming things, and once I get a name to it, I know what to name in prayer. I come against this because it has a name. It has a reference. And then we begin to make sense to us. For some of us, for the first time. Our actions, even though they may not be where we want them to be, they start to make sense. And so that's the foundation we're trying to build. So we may not be talking about solutions yet, but I want to wrap up, Lord willing, the psychology today of why we find ourselves in situations where things get undone. Tasks go incomplete. Things go unfinished. We move to the next thing before we completed a thing. We're praying for God to bless, but the last 5 ideas he gave you, you didn't see them through. You prayed for a job, you got a good job, it was a good paying job, but they got on your nerves so much at the job, you left the job, then prayed to God give you another job. And then you left the job before you got a new job, so now you overly stressed because you ain't got no money and you ain't got no job because the job God gave you, you couldn't see the job through because of the condition you were in at the job. So now you jobless. Let me sip. So Miss Vera Johnson, good morning to you. Gloria Gray, good morning. Couple people joined. Two Talls, good morning. I pray, good morning. So let's get it. Love Hole, good morning. Noel, good morning. So we've been talking about results don't come from incomplete. Rewards can't come from something never realized. Better is always waiting on done. And we started this discussion after the foundation day. We started this discussion by talking about how procrastination fights our brain function, which is wired to remember incomplete tasks more than completed tasks. Right? Which causes tension that affects our feeling and production. And then yesterday we talked about a cognitive dissonance and how cognitive dissonance how it affects us when our beliefs or our actions are not aligned. Right? Hey, Tramika. Hey, Jeff. When our actions and our beliefs are not aligned, it will impact our ability to follow through with things to completion, because what we're desiring to see, our actions are not leading us in that direction. And sometimes we'll fight to stay comfortable in the actions that is not productive to results. And that's the dissonance. That is the tension, the friction. And today I want to talk about, I guess I'm gonna call them the big three. They got this cognitive dissonance, you have procrastination, and this is what we're gonna talk about today. is, I think, the third head to this animal that constantly fights our production. And I'm going to put two thoughts together as one topic, because I think while they are different and can stand on their own, they very much go hand in hand. And so we're going to talk about today the role stress and anxiety play in our production and how productive we are. And listen, I'm gonna say this before I give a scripture. That's why I ain't read a scripture yet, because I want to read a scripture that is probably more indicative to what we want to talk about today. But before I do that, I want you to just say this with me. Somebody need to type it. Too blessed to be stressed. Y'all heard that before. Too blessed to be stressed. Somebody need to type that. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Javen Tillman, good morning. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I want to talk about the impact of stress, which leads to bigger issues called anxiety. Because here's the reality. This is a topic that may seem so simple, and it's like, Pastor, I thought you was going to give us something deep today. I am. I thought you was going to give us something, profound. You don't talk about stress? Yeah. Because I believe we're walking around with something we don't know is slowly killing us. I believe we have habitually carried something that has become normal, that has been fighting the ability or the effectiveness of your production for a long time. The Bible teaches us, do not be anxious, Philippians 4:6, do not be anxious or worried. And the word worried can be stressed. Don't be anxious or stressed about anything. Don't be worried or stressed. Don't be anxious or worried. Don't be anxious or stressed about anything, but in everything, every circumstance and situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, continue to make your specific requests known to God, and the peace of God, that peace which reassures the heart, that peace which transcends all understanding, that peace which stands guard over your heart and your minds in Jesus Christ is yours. Listen to me. The peace of God is probably one of the greatest gifts Christ ever left the church. It is our separator. It is what the world don't have, and the world is trying to find. And the world will never have at the capacity of the believer if the believer would ever embrace it and receive it and choose it and walk in it. What separates you from the worker beside you, what separates you from the person beside you that is not in God and that is not in trusting God and believing in God, what separates the two, that both of y'all are going to experience the same stressful situation, but the stress that they receive shouldn't be the stress that we receive, because we have a peace that guards. We have a peace that reassures. We have a peace that transcends all understanding. There's a translation that says we have a peace that makes no sense. Hey, Adama. That peace which stands guard to our hearts and our minds. In other words, when something want to stress us out, there should be a peace that guards our mind and our hearts that don't want to let it do it. There should be a peace that guards us when we want to get to an anxious moment and we're getting anxiety is taking over, and anxiousness and stress and tension is completely overwhelming us. There's a gift of peace that we can accept and walk in that will soothe us in those moments of high pressure situations, high tension and high stress situations. So those situations won't take us out because we have something guarding us that the world does not have. Malachi Riley, good morning. And here's the thing. Stress has become so normal to people that it is not even something that we pray about anymore. It is not even something that we consider anymore. It is not even something we've learned to just push through it for so long. We've given it residency as being a part of our experience. Ooh, I feel God on this. It has become so normal that we have accepted it as being life. We have been stressed for so long. We don't even think it's normal to, matter of fact, when we don't feeling some type of anxiety and stress, we think something wrong. What's going on? I'm waiting for the ball to drop. I'm waiting for the ceiling to open up. I'm waiting for the flood to come. No, boo, you just experiencing the peace of God. That he can guard your heart. He can guard your mind. He can fix your understanding, or he can give you a peace that transcends even the things you're confused about or don't understand. He can reassure your heart. I need you to hear this today, because while this seemingly is a reminder type of message, it's really not. It's really a wake-up call that we're carrying stuff that we could have laid at his feet a long time ago, and it's hindering our ability to produce. It's hindering our ability to stay. It's hindering our ability to press or persevere or to stay in a thing long enough to see God's results hit it. Because when stress levels are high, when anxiety levels are high, chances are attendance is low. Attendance is anything. We check out of stuff. We check out too early. We are restless. We are irritable. Our capacity is shortened. We don't suffer anything long. And so our development is really restricted because the patience is not there to let patience have her good work. I mean, to let, we don't have patience because patience is checked out. So since patience is checked out, she can't have a good work. The Bible teaches us, let patience have his good work in you so that then you'll be able to be mature, to be perfect, to develop. And we got too many talented people trying to operate with stress levels and anxiety levels off the charts. Dale, what's up? Al, what's up? Deidre Garbo, good morning. And I'm telling you, man, you will walk away from a thing, you will leave a thing undone, you will miscalculate the value of a thing, you will disconnect with connections that were godly, you will mishandle assignments because you're just way too stressed and the anxiety is just way too much, and you're just trying to run or find solace or find peace, or find support, or find compensation, whatever the case may be. We're running to things that we think is less stressful and less causes us to be less anxious. And sometimes what looks like is more calm is because it's areas where God ain't in and ain't not much happening. Yeah, it's going to be calm if nothing's happening there. And it may be a time for you to catch your breath, but it won't be a time for you to develop because you're in a place that God ain't called you to be in. You want to know why? Some of the things that we've retreated to seemingly feel better because God ain't in that thing. And because God ain't in it, the enemy ain't fighting it. Okay, can I just talk to 20 of you gifted, talented, anointed people? The reason why you catch so much more warfare than the next person beside you is because whatever God's in is what the enemy is interested in. And you comparing yourself to somebody who is not working and moving for God, and you thinking their life is better than yours, they got less stress. Why? Because they have less tension. Why? Because they have no fight. The enemy ain't gonna fight against his own. He ain't gonna fight against somebody that's actually helping him and not hurting his plan. Anything enemy is doing is to come against what God is doing. So if you're doing anything that's pleasing to God, know that you're going to attract the darts of the enemy. So yeah, you can find situations that may be less tension, but it doesn't mean you're really going to have less stress. And we can be in a situation that's seemingly pressured and stressful and still find peace. Because the peace is not coming from your surroundings. The peace is going to come from within you when you understand the gift of peace. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I sense it. There's too many people trying to do purpose with stress levels at an all-time high. Hey, Tom. Stress and anxiety, I put them together because, like I said, they do stand alone at times, but in most instances, it is our stress levels that pull us to an anxiety place or to an anxious place. Stress and anxiety are related but have distinct experiences. Stress is a natural reaction to a specific temporary threat, while anxiety is a more persistent, often excessive worry or fear that may or may not be linked to a specific stressor. That's why they say I put them together, because they may have some type of interactions, but sometimes they have some disconnections. Both can have physical and mental consequences, and managing them is crucial for overall well-being. I need you to understand the difference, okay? Stress is the definition. Stress is the body's natural response to a threat, whether real or perceived. Whenever you perceive something to be a threat or something is actually a threat, your body responds with stress. It becomes stressful. It becomes tense. It gets into fight mode, protect mode. That's what stress is. It is guarding you against a threat or potential threat that you have deemed a threat. Stressors can be external, which means deadlines, problems at work, or internal, worrying about finances, worrying about certain things, worrying about relationships, worrying about or certain situations. Stress is usually short-lived and fades once the stressor is removed. Some symptoms of stress can include physical symptoms like muscle tension, headaches, digestive issues, as well as emotional symptoms like irritability and fatigue. Now, I can stop there. If you experience muscle tension, irritability, and fatigue, it's going to be hard to stay focused on a task for a long period of time. And we're talking about overcoming almost and finally getting things done that has left undone. And in some cases, let me just say that, I ain't gonna say most. In some cases, The opportunity or the lack of is not the issue. We're just not healthy enough to pursue them. Let me sit right there. And sometimes we mad at God because it seems like God is using everybody else but us, and he's sitting us to the side. And when is I'm going to get my opportunity? And when things going to pop off for me? And when is this going to take place? And sometimes God is saying, no, I got the opportunity for you when you're healthy enough to take it on. You got to release some of this stress. You got to get better. You got to let some of this stuff go. You got to overcome some of this anxiety, because if I give you this assignment and you already have high stress levels, come on, he's not trying to do more damage to us. And we got to learn how to manage this stuff, because we have gotten used to carrying high voltage, high levels of stress, and we've made it normal. And we're always full of tension, full of fatigue, irritable, don't want to be bothered, but want to be used. Lord have mercy. And so that stress, anxiety is a state of worry and unease or fear, often accompanied by physical symptoms like increased heart rate, difficulty concentrating. And while stress is a common trigger, see, that's what I said they're related in some way. Stress is a common trigger for anxiety. Anxiety can also present itself without a clear stressor. Anxiety can persist for longer periods and may not resolve when the perceived stressor is over. So the symptoms of anxiety are similar to stress, but can also include excessive worry, panic attacks, and social avoidance. I'm avoiding people, I'm avoiding situations, I'm avoiding circumstances because I don't want to have this panic attack because I have high anxiety. And so what happens is I don't get involved in much. So if I don't get involved in much, I can't complete much. This thing can't be ignored any longer. We cannot ignore this. We can't shout over it. We can't dance over it. We can't keep going. Some of us do it in silence. You ain't talked to nobody. You ain't sat down. You ain't done nothing to decompress. You haven't done any kind of self-maintenance. You ain't done anything to kind of help push yourself through where you are. You just pushing. You've been on E for the last 5 months, but you just still pushing. You've been running on fumes. Your tank has been empty. Your oil light is on. You still trying to push that car because the baby's got to eat, bills got to get paid, things got to get done. Yeah. But you got to deal with this. If we're going to be finishers, if we're going to experience a finally, if we're going to get it done, you got to deal with your levels of stress and anxiety. Listen to me. Stress and anxiety can significantly hinder the ability to finish tasks by impairing our focus, our decision-making, and our motivation. Anxiety in particular can lead to procrastination. You see how this thing goes in? So we talked about the power of procrastination, but we can see that our stress levels and our anxiety levels can lead to us procrastinating. It can lead to procrastination, perfectionism. Remember, that was another level of procrastination, the perfectionist, and feelings of overwhelm, making it difficult to even start or complete tasks. Sometimes we're so overwhelmed that we don't even start. We're so overwhelmed that we don't even want to touch it. We don't even want to think about it. Come on. And so we're talking about finishing things and getting things complete and getting things to that next place, right? We got to deal with this, because even in the workforce, even in the corporate America or the marketplace, stress and anxiety significantly impact productivity by impairing Cognitive function. Remember yesterday we talked about our cognitive function. It's the way we think. It's the way we process. It's the way we consider. And so when I'm stressed, my cognitive function is impaired. Which, remember I said, we run from stuff, pull ourselves out. It increases absenteeism and lowering employee morale. So there's a morale issue. There's a lot of absenteeism. What does that mean? I just pull myself out of everything. It ain't just work. I ain't just talking about calling out of work. I call out of everything. I don't volunteer no more. I'm not available no more. Y'all can have that. Y'all can do that. Now I'm good. I don't want to be bothered with them. Oh, they going to be there? Count me out. No, I don't want around. I don't want that. There's too many people. How many people going to be there? Nah, I can't do crowds. So you begin to isolate yourself. And when you isolate yourself without dealing with the stress and anxiety, the stress and anxiety builds because you have no distractions to distract you from what you stressed about. So what you going to do? Think about what you stressed about, which is going to do what? Cause you to be more stressed out. I need somebody to type again. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Say this, or say it this way. I'm too blessed to carry all this stress. Woo, Lord. These effects can lead to reduced work quality, missed deadlines, and overall decreased efficiency. I remember when I was in my last days of corporate America, I experienced this decline in quality of work, missed deadlines, overall decreased efficiency. I remember that because it was at the time God had shifted and he had called me to ministry. And I was still trying to figure out and juggle how I was going to do it, how I was going to make it happen, how I was going to live, how I was going to live off of what ministry was going to pay me based on what I was making. I had all these bills to figure out. I had all these obligations to figure out. But then I had the call of God so strong in my voice that I could not, my spirit, that I could not ignore. And so my stress level my anxiety and stress level got so high. I don't even think I expressed this before. I don't think this is the first time I've ever expressed this out of my mouth, how I really felt. And at that time, my dad was real sick, so I was taking on all the operations of the church and working full time. And I had a high demanding, stressful job. That's why I was getting paid what I was getting paid, because it was demanding. We was always on call. And so at any time, even when I got off work, I could be called into work, or I could be called on a call if there was an issue, if there was something broken on the system or whatever. So I was always on call. I always had to keep my pager on me. I always had to keep my phone on. I was never really could relax. But then I had this whole weight, not only of a church, because what I was taking was his apostolic mantle. I had the whole weight of a mantle that I was trying to dodge or consider. And I remember my boss coming to me one day, was like, "What's going on with you?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" Because I felt normal. Watch this. I didn't feel like, I knew I was thinking and worrying about the stuff, but I couldn't see the dive in my production. I couldn't feel that I wasn't the same person, but the people around me could feel the effects of my stress. And I start forgetting things. I start forgetting to write stuff down. I start forgetting where I put stuff that I did write down, and I miss meetings. And I start not putting stuff on my calendar. I stopped sending emails that I thought I sent. It was making me look bad, and my name started being like, "Hold on, this ain't like Bradley. Bradley normally, that's my guy." Because she used to come to me. I was the guy on the team. I was the one who she would ask about when she wanted advice and this and that. I was her right hand. So she was like, "Hold on, you slipping. What's going on?" And there was a transition that was happening, which caused my work to be affected by what I was no longer focused that much on. And I tried to stay in a place where I wasn't locked in at, and it wouldn't work, because when your levels of stress and anxiety is not there, not only cognitive function is going to set in or be decreased, but you're going to start seeing an increase of absenteeism. I was there, but I wasn't there. I was in it, but I wasn't in it. I was in the motions, but I wasn't effective. And the morale of the team was affected because what I was doing was making all of them look bad. My morale was affected because I'm prideful about my work, and what I was producing was not like me, and I didn't know how to fix it. And I wish I had the teaching that I'm giving you then to kind of identify what was going on. While some stress can be motivating, some people like stressful things. I like stressful things. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I wait till last minute to sometimes do stuff because I like to be under the gun. Some stress can be motivating and it can get some adrenaline in you, but excessive stress is what I'm talking about. Excessive stress and anxiety negatively affects a performance and contribute to burnout. And I want us to understand that we got to deal with the stress levels that we're trying to operate in. I'm talking to you. You got to deal with the stress levels you're just trying to work over. You're just trying to push through. You think time gonna heal it. No, time gonna make you more stressed out if you don't deal with it. Hey, Pastor Jones, what we gonna do? Yeah, we stressed. Yeah, some stuff ain't gonna get better. So what we gotta do, we gotta manage. So managing stress is almost like managing how we eat food. We're gonna continue to eat food, and throughout the day, you're gonna intake more food and more drink and more beverage. But your body has a management system. It has a digesting system. It has a a system that breaks down what it intakes so that they can make room to intake more. Woo! Y'all don't know how good that statement was I just made. And if you don't learn how to digest life, break down what's been trying to break you down, digest it, do away with waste, compartmentalize things, put things in their proper place, organize what is coming at you and what you have to distribute back out. If we don't have a system to do that, to rejuvenate ourselves, to get rest, to self-care, so that we have dealt with the things that has been given at us, so that we prepare ourselves to deal with the next thing, then what's happening is stuff just gonna stack up. And now you find yourself at a place where you're just not productive. This is a real stat. And this thing really opened me up. It woke me up this morning when I was dragging, when I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to study. This is the thing that woke me up. When I saw this stat right here, my eyes got big as I don't know what. Studies show that 80%, this is a 2024 study. It's not an old study. It just have 80% of employees report productivity anxiety and lower well-being. 80% of all employees report that they have productivity anxiety and a lower state of well-being. So 80% of people in the workforce have reported, I'm not well. And there's a productivity anxiety that I'm struggling with. That's only 20% of healthy people in the workforce. Are you listening to me? And we trying to get stuff done and we ain't well. Productivity anxiety is a global phenomenon, and that Americans specifically are obsessed. Listen to me. We're in a season, we're in a culture of productivity and the hustle culture. It's been deemed the hustle culture since the 90s into the 2000s. It's been deemed the hustle culture. And our fixation on productivity prioritizes, output over well-being. We live in a society that prioritizes output over well-being. I don't care what's going on with you. You better be here. I don't care what you're dealing with. You better show up for work tomorrow. If I ain't got no doctor's note, I don't care. You better get in here. I need you. We got all this production. We got this stuff going on. We got stuff moving. And we have to make ourselves continue to go without taking care of ourselves. We prioritize output over well-being. And in this church, I probably cancel more Bible studies than any pastor. And I'm not saying this is not a real stat, but I know I cancel more Bible studies because I've been in cultures where people gonna have it no matter what. Oh, I don't care if 2 people show. We're gonna have it tonight because we gotta be consistent. Because if you don't be consistent, people stop coming. If you start, I don't believe that. And sometimes we need a break. I give it to them. Shoot. Sometimes I need a break and don't feel like teaching, so I give everybody a break. Can I be honest? Can a pastor say on a Wednesday night, I'm just got too much going on? Come on, let's just regroup, rest, and I'll see you Sunday. Is that so bad? We have revival 1 week. We got productions going on and stuff going on. Is that so bad? Like this week, we got a team doing things Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we're gonna have Easter weekend. Is it so bad to say, okay, you got Wednesday off? What am I saying? I try to find balance in this. So yeah, there's a pull when we need you, but then there's also a cognizance of your health and your reboot and your recovery and your well-being. And there has to be a balance. And I'm talking to leaders that are in the marketplace. If you're managing, if you're pastoring, whatever, you got to create a balance. But I'm talking about people too. You got to create a balance in your hustle and your well-being. You cannot try to live your life just for the output. And you got a lot of people chasing. You tired and still broke. Got 5 jobs and still broke. You want to know why? Because number one, you're out of the will of God. You're trying to chase something that should be chasing you. And your body is not built to work 4 or 5 jobs. But even the Bible teaches us that if you work on honest days' work to get an honest day's pay, and if it still ain't enough, guess what? That's when the miracles of God come in. But some of us are no good to everything else in our life because we've given ourselves to work. All you do is work. You can't bless nobody. You can't enjoy nobody. You can't enjoy nothing. You can't even sit down and lay down in the stuff that you worked to buy. You ain't even home enough. And we're in this rat race of getting, instead of trusting God in assignments and letting him bless. And all you're doing is burning yourself out. Back hurt, muscles tight, neck tight, headaches all day. You popping pills, but they ain't finishing much. Our fixation on productivity prioritizes output over well-being, leading to burnout, stress, and a diminished quality of life. We struggle with the challenge of finding a balance that promotes efficiency and success without compromising mental and physical health. We've got to find a middle ground. Remember this hustle culture that I talked about? It was driven by this tech boom of the 1990s. Excuse me. Another real study. This hustle culture has glamorized overworking, promoting the idea that constant productivity is a badge of honor that sits at the cornerstone of success and innovation. I remember when I was at Wachovia, early on in my career, I remember I was a branch manager in Winston-Salem. And I remember in that culture, now most banks now, managers both sell and they service the bank. They're over the managing the service of the bank and they're over sales. They do both. But back then, well, let me back up. Back then we did both. We did sales and service. Now they separate. They have a manager that's over the managing of the bank. Then they have sales people that usually go out, get the loans, do the lending, do the aggressive stuff. But I remember having a meeting where we were talking about splitting up because the managers were complaining about the workload. I got to do all these loans and I have all these sales goals, but then I got to leave this branch. I can't leave here much because I got to manage the workflow here. And y'all asking too much for us to sell and go out and meet customers. And we got to manage the branch. And so they were kicking around, okay, we're going to split up and have a manager, a service manager and a sales manager. And we're going to take the responsibilities from that branch manager and put two managers in the building. And I remember that meeting like it was yesterday. After years of complaining about the workload, when they talking about taking stuff from people, they're like, oh no, oh, you devaluing the position now. And I'm losing some credibility because I'm not this anymore. And they like, y'all can't have it both ways. Either y'all overwork, or you want help or you want to keep doing what you're doing. See, some of us glamorize this weight load that we can't handle. And we get mad when somebody takes something off our plate, but we fuss and fight and complain about what all we got to do that nobody else is helping with. And some of us love to just wear that and we complain, but it's with a bragging connotation, kinda. Because if you take something, let me help you, and be like, nah, I got it. I just go ahead and do it because ain't nobody gonna do it like I like to do anyway, because I'll go ahead and do it. So you don't really want help. You want everybody to just see you carrying 10 boxes on your back. Yeah, the money changed when they took it Shinway, but which one you gonna, that was the risk reward. Sometimes we wear our stress as a badge of honor. Like you ain't important unless you overworked. This narrative teaches employees that to achieve their professional goals, they must constantly strive to perform better, often at the expense of personal well-being and mental health. I'm just trying to say we got to find a balance. I'm about out of my time, but I got to get through this. So let me just talk about these impacts of stress and anxiety. Number one, it impairs focus and concentration. It's going to be very hard to focus and concentration when you're stressed out constantly. Stress and anxiety can make it difficult to concentrate, leading to a lack of focus and difficulty in completing tasks. Anxiety can also trigger a constant state of heightened awareness, making it hard to filter out irrelevant information and focus on the task at hand. When I'm anxious, my awareness is so heightened. I'm so sensitive to everything around me. Any little thing will set me off, and I'll focus on it instead of the task at hand. Oh, that was such a nugget. Oh, I hope y'all got it. When I'm anxious and I have high anxiety, I focus on any little small thing because I'm so heightened about my awareness. That's why it's so hard for anxious people to be around people, because any little thing can set them off. They can be having a conversation with you that's meaningful and looking aside, distance, and see two people talking and whispering and feel like they're talking about them. And they'll move from this meaningful conversation to want to know what y'all whispering about. Like that really matters from what the conversation we're having. But when I'm on high alert, everything in my surroundings matter because I'm anxious about it all. Right? So that's what happened. Number two, poor decision making. When I'm stressed out, when I have high anxiety, I don't make good decisions. Stress and anxiety can impair cognitive function, like I talked about, affecting the decision making and problem solving abilities. This can lead to difficulty choosing the best approach to a task, making it harder to complete it efficiently. We're talking about getting stuff done, right? We're talking about overcoming almost. Number 3, the impact is procrastination and avoidance. My stress level caused me to procrastinate. My stress level sometimes caused me to avoid. Individuals experiencing anxiety may avoid tasks due to the fear of failure at it or the fear of being evaluated by the work that I know I'm not healthy enough to do. So if I'm stressed out or got high anxiety, I'll procrastinate or avoid things because I don't want to put my mediocre work on display, because I know I'm irritable. My cognitive function is not the same. I can't handle things like I used to. And so I don't even want to get involved. Lord, we just at discovery, y'all. Don't get mad at me. We just discovering some stuff. And this can lead to this procrastination where individuals delay starting or completing tasks to avoid the anxiety associated with it. Number 4, feeling overwhelmed. When I'm stressed out and I feel overwhelmed, it creates a feeling of being overwhelmed, especially when faced with a large or complex task. So I'll do small, simple stuff, but I don't push myself. I'm too stressed for that. And this can make it difficult to know where to start or how to break down a task into manageable steps. And so I don't know how to break it down to manageable steps. I don't know where to start. I feel overwhelmed about it. So I just check out of it all. Remember this perfectionism? Some individuals with anxiety may also struggle with perfectionism. That's a form, we talked about that being a form of procrastination. When they feel stuck with a project, or if they don't believe they can do it perfectly, we won't even do it. Number 6, reduced motivation. Stress and anxiety can lead to feelings of fatigue and demotivation, making it harder to find the energy and drive to complete the task. And this can create a vicious cycle where the lack of progress further exasperates feelings of stress and anxiety. Lord have mercy. I wasn't motivated to do it. And because I wasn't motivated to do it, I didn't do it. And because I didn't do it, I created a deeper level of lack of progress, which further causes me to feel more stress because there's another thing that I gotta get done that I didn't do because I didn't feel like doing it. And guess what? Tomorrow, because I'm so stressed, I'm not gonna feel like doing something else that's gonna add another thing on my list that's going to cause another level of my stress. And it's a vicious cycle. So it must be managed. Stress cannot be eliminated from our life, but it can be managed. Managing stress and anxiety involves a combination of strategies like engaging in relaxing activities. When was the last time you took a break? When was the last time you said, I know stuff gotta get done, but I need a day or two. I need a weekend. No, I'm taking this week for myself. No, I'm taking this day. I'm taking off. And I ain't planning a trip nowhere. I'm just going to be quiet in the house while everybody gone. I'm going to catch up on some things. I'm going to do something I like to do. I'm going to get me together. That work going to be there when you get there. I get on my wife all the time. She's going to get mad at me, I'm going to say it, but I get on my wife all the time. I don't care how much they trying to press you at that job. It is not too serious for you to sit here all day and not eat. Sometimes she gets so busy that she don't even have time to put food in her mouth. I said, they ain't paying you that much. That you sitting here with the shakes and a headache because you're trying to be an excellent employee. That you don't even take 15 to 30 minutes to catch your breath. We ain't doing that. Some of y'all need to be you need to get behind me. She watch, just type that. We ain't doing that, First Lady. Relaxing activities, practicing mindfulness, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, getting out and walking, exercising, seeking professional help. Talk to somebody. Sometimes I learn you need a pastor, you need a pastor and a therapist. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's crucial to find what works for you and constantly. Here's the key. When you find what works for you and what decompresses you and what gets you back and what calms you down and what takes some stress off of you, when you find what works for you, it can't be once a year. It can't be once in a lifetime. You've got to constantly incorporate it, consistently incorporate it into your daily or your weekly routine so that you can constantly keep yourself fit for the task that is in front of you. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody or nothing around you. And one of the reasons why we keep leaving things undone and we keep leaving stuff unfinished is because we are not healthy enough to continue in it. So just some tips. Relaxation and mindfulness, number one. Here's how you manage this stuff. Deep breathing. Meditation is good. Meditating on the word prayer. Massage therapy, I like it. I get a massage once a month. I'm on rotation. And matter of fact, I ain't had one yet. Time to schedule. And sometimes I go twice a month. You may call it bougie. I call it maintenance. I carry a lot, I weigh a lot. I got to press that stuff out of my body. That's what I do for me. I go to the gym every day for me. Not a lot of people can take that time away from me. I set meetings after my gym time. When I leave here, I'm going to go get ready, make sure everything's good at the house. I'm going to the gym, work out. That's my me time. It's non-negotiable. If I'm going to be who I need to be for everybody else, I got to be who I need to be for me. Right? Lifestyle modifications, healthy diet, exercise, adequate sleep. Some of us don't sleep enough. We run, and then get 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep. When they get up and run again. Screen time, put the phones down. Go out, walk, spend time in nature, whatever works for you, right? Sometimes it's social connections. That's my third suggestion. Sometimes it's social connections and support. There's people that can get you back up charged. Some people that can take stuff off of you. There's conversations with certain people. When you get off the phone, you're lighter. It helps with your stress level. You were so anxious and your anxiety was up here till you talked to them. And it brought you down to a place where you could calmly talk about and think about what you're dealing with. Connect to those friends, family members, support systems, mentors. Use them regularly to keep you at a level that you are not overthinking or over anxious about things, right? Go volunteer somewhere. You'll be surprised at what service does. Right? Since the pandemic, people don't want to volunteer in the church no more. But in that, since the pandemic, people are more stressful in their jobs and in their homes. Why? Because service has always been a part of our makeup, but we've taken it out. Volunteerism. I ain't got time to do that. Right? There's something that happens when you give and when you serve others. There's a gratification that you won't ever know is there until you do it. Helping others can provide a sense of purpose and reduce stress. And some of y'all don't volunteer enough. If it ain't coming with a price, you ain't going. Engage in hobbies. Find something you like to do, right? Get you some cognitive and behavioral techniques. That's what I'm trying to give you more momentum. Identifying the frameworks of your negative thought patterns so you can do something about it. Practicing the positive self-talk. Setting boundaries. Learning how to say no to some things. Managing your time effectively. All these things you got to do. Seek professional help. Like I said, if you need to go talk to somebody, talk to somebody. But what I'm saying to you, I'm done. But what I'm saying to you is this stress piece is something that we have swept under the rug, but it's one of the most dangerous killers of productivity. You're too stressed out. Y'all can't talk because you're too stressed out. You can't come up with a solution because you're too stressed out. You don't stay long enough to see it work because you're too stressed out. And every little thing happen, you run. I'm quit. I'm done. I'm over. Gone. Absent. That's a word for today. I'm done. The fact that you're watching me, the fact that you listen to me is a sign that God's not finished with you. He gave you new sign because he gave you new mercy. Take what he gave you and win what's in front of you. Go win your day. Say this with me. I'm too stressed to be blessed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. That need to be your sign. That's a song. Way too blessed to be stressed. Y'all need to look it up. That's my daily rotation. For real. Take what he gave you. Win what's in front of you. Win your day. We'll see you Monday. Peace.